Good morning, folks. AJ the CEO. It is January 20th. It is 7:56, and we are packed up and loaded and ready to head out to Mount Tabor in Doswell, Virginia. We did this install a little while ago, where we set up and put everything in place to get their sound system in place. We put some new mics. I'll do a link to that video. But that was pretty much right around, they were just ending COVID and they were coming back into the church. And we have since done some other stuff there. But today we're going to be installing faster internet for them. We're going to put a Starlink dish up, possibly. We're also going to be relocating their media booth to the back. We're going to be adding an additional PTZ camera. We're going to be setting up some access points, Unify system, and all this other stuff. So again, my car is loaded up, so I couldn't bring my ladder with me. I do have my tall ladder with me, but today I'm going to focus on pretty much just running everything on the floor, getting everything hooked up. We're also adding some new speakers in the pulpit, some new ones in the choir, a new amp. Just want to get all the boxes out of my car, get everything set up on the floor. And again, because everything is going to be located inside the sanctuary, the only thing we really need to do is run one cable for the access point that's going to be in the fellowship hall, another one that's going to be in the sanctuary. I think we're running a cable into the pastor's office so that he'll have a TV there. But everything else is going to be there. And once I bring my ladder, then we're going to just pull those cables up off the floor that we know are working and then just relocate them in the ceiling. And then we should be done. So let me pack up everything because we got a bunch of gear that we're taking with us. I'm going to break out the drone and get some more flying in. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to make sure I bring my license for flying. It says you're supposed to always have it on your person. So I need to make a copy of this and put it in all of my drone bags. So let's actually do that now. I'll make a copy of that. And we don't need it to be in color. We'll just do it in black and white. But that's what we got. Again, this is this is the church that is using the same board that we just installed at Bethlehem Baptist Church. Oh, also they wanted me to add some new wireless mics as well too. So a lot of work that's going to go into just the sanctuary. And when I come back, the first thing we're going to do is get them to set up an account with the Starlink, get the positioning on where it needs to be, and then we're going to mount that to the roof, run the cable into the building. I want to get as close as possible to where the rack is going to be, because we're putting up a mounted lockable rack for all of the equipment and the networking and all this other stuff. And just instead of that one router that's in the media booth, we're going to just network the entire church. So let's get loaded up and let's get to going. Alrighty, folks, we got everything inside here, and they got a very, very nice booth built out where we're going to be relocating everything. Very nice. So I'm going to have to order some more grommets so we can pass everything through here. Are y'all planning on putting drywall on this side?
No, we don't need it unless you think we do.
Nah, it doesn't. I was just wondering because if you have it, they could run cables through the wall and don't have to make grommets. But I'll probably put grommets on here anyway.
That's what the guy was saying. That's why he didn't put the drywall up.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it's probably better for you that way.
All right. So I think that other monitor mount, remember I told you the mount that I did in the other video that didn't work? I might actually use that and mount that here, but let's go ahead. Again, that's where we set up everything at the beginning, and we're gonna relocate everything here. So the first thing we're gonna do is just move all that stuff back here. We're gonna run all the cables on the floor and get everything hooked up, and then we go from there. So far, I got the sound up, let them hear the 2 speakers, and actually they blow out the ones that are there. Got the computer set up and using my phone as a tether right now just to get some audio. We're probably going to put the networking rack up here so we can screw through in the wall to get the Starlink outside. So, plus, again, I haven't been recording a lot because we've been talking a lot here. So just talking about the conference and getting youth more involved with the church and all this stuff. So been real interesting. So let's get back to work. All right, been doing a lot of work trying to assemble the rack, and I'm making sure I'm not missing some pieces. It looks like I'm missing the brackets for the inside of the rack. But what I'm trying to do right now is I was trying to find studs to put the rack mount on the wall, but I'm not getting 16 on center. It might be a little bit wider, so I might have to get a beam kind of like this and screw into this, because see, that's where the studs are based off of what they're doing, and seeing this rack is not wide enough for that. So if I not put another beam up here like that up here, I can screw into that. So need to try and finish assembling the rack and then go from there. But that's what we're doing. This is obviously going to be a part 2, but maybe I can see about drilling a hole in the wall and getting outside and seeing where the Starlink is, and maybe get them registered and have everything hooked up so we can see how it's actually working. And possibly going to talk with them about doing some more stuff as well too. So let me see. So we got clear skies here. So maybe drill through here, and we're gonna go pretty high up and put the point there. So let me get my hammer drill. We're gonna drill through here to get the hole to come out here, and we'll run the cable out here. I'm probably gonna get my masonry bit so it can be a little bit bigger. And boy, it's cold. A little bit bigger of a hole. So, and then I'll just seal it up with concrete. So we can get up outside of there. And let me find if I can put something on this side of the wall, because if that's the case, I can still run the cable and go in that way. Either way. All right, folks, so I haven't been recording that long, that much, because we've been doing a lot of stuff here. Just finished. We're getting Starlink activated right now. I got it kind of prepped in its temporary location out here. So, because we're right on the other side of this wall, so I'm gonna mount that up here. So it's already connected, just having them make the account to make everything official. Then I need to change the IP address so it can hook to the Unify stuff. And then that's temporary, but like I said, I'll come back tomorrow, drill the hole, put the mount up high where in its permanent position. What I plan to do right now, I finished assembling the rack. The instructions were horrible, but instead of putting it here, I've already marked it off. We're going to put the rack right here, and then we'll go right through, and that'll be for the Starlink on the outside. So that's the main thing. I already hooked up the mics, all this other stuff is sounding really good. We're probably going to go with some other speakers in the front, but I need to hook up the existing one so they can see how that sounds. But like I said, I haven't really done nothing because we've been really talking here the entire time. But let's go get back to work. So we got the internet set up, and I don't know, hopefully you can see it in a reflection. We are getting 411 down and 4 up. Hopefully the upload will improve, but their download originally was like maybe 1.5. So we have a massive increase on download, and then hopefully improve the upload as well too. So yay. All right, folks, so we've made some very, very, very good progress here. Playing around with the amp, got everything mounted. What I would prefer to do is maybe put another beam up under here just to give it a little bit more support. I do have a blank there. I could put that there to just wedge it. It's actually on a hook, so it's not like it's going to go anywhere, but I just want to put something else in place. Tested out the internet. We got as high as about 400 down and around 30 up, and that's going to fluctuate with that. We haven't tested the live stream, have not hooked up and rerouted the cables from the camera back here and hooked up the other one. So that's some other stuff that we're going to do tomorrow. I ran my ladder here. The main thing is to put the access point, the Starlink up outside in its final position, drill through the wall right there. Then mount the access point. Honestly, I'm probably just going to put the access point right up against the wall because that's going to be easier in here. And then we'll run a cable to go in the back hallway. Extend all the cables for the TVs back here to meet the HDMI splitter. Extend the cables for the congregation speakers back here, that's what that cable is on the floor. So I'll extend that, put that up in the ceiling, run it over, run another Ethernet cable for the PTZ that's going to be in the front, as well as the HDMI. So 3 HDMIs that are going to go in the back, and just based off of the sound, the hanging speakers we're not going to use anymore. So the floor ones are loud enough for the pulpit and the choir, and the house ones are going to be good for everybody else. So those other speakers, we'll just hold on to them and not return them. We'll do that for something else, refund them back for that. And then hook up everything else, test, configure. But again, the main thing is the Starlink, get that hung up, reposition all the cables inside of here. Then we have to run one Ethernet cable in the back hallway to the fellowship hall for the internet. So that access point in the ceiling is for that. Hook up all the other stuff here. We need to make another cable for the Starlink. So I need to extend that so that runs back up under here to connect to for the Starlink. Starlink is actually going to be relocated over there, so actually I don't even need to think about doing that. We have one cable, the white cable that's going here to the PoE. That's going to be ran here, hooked up into that. Run a cable directly from here for the computer, so the computer is always on when that's done. What else? The ATEM and the joystick is hooked up. We run the cables for the PTZ, run the other one, and then so worst case is going to be like 2 more days, but tomorrow is mainly going to be getting into the wall for the Starlink, hang that outside, run the cables in the ceiling, extend the TVs, get everything else up, and then extend the speaker cables back here, mount the PTZ in the front, run the cable for that and that back, and then start cleaning up everything. So we will see y'all tomorrow. Hey, good morning, folks. We are on day 2 here. I hope you like that drone footage. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, but we flew around a little bit this morning. But my main focus was to drill this hole in the wall, which I'm still going to try and do, but boy, it is cold. It was like starting off at like 12 degrees this morning. I'm going to try and warm up a little bit and maybe focus on getting outside. But the main thing I'm going to do today is, as much as I don't like buying cable from Lowe's, since I ran out, this was the fastest way to get it. I got an extension cord. That other beam I talked about, I'm going to try and mount it up under here just to give another bracing into this. And then we got the USB cable, so we're going to be pulling USB sending the audio from the computer to the board over USB to hopefully get rid of the RF noise, the electrical noise from all the power cables. Want to reposition and get my mind straight on sorting out the cabling. Again, this cable that's going to this camera is already ran all the way to the front. The idea is to pull that up out of the way, the Ethernet cable, run that over to where the camera is going to be in the front. The video cable, the HDMI that is going source to display that was up here, I'm going to reposition that and extend that and connect that to that TV so that that would be the run for that. We also need to extend the HDMI from here, which is also for here, run that back here to get here so that both TVs will get displayed, then run one more cable in reverse so it's source the display for the front camera. We'll do that. Also need to put it's just one. I'm mixing my churches up. Mix one shielded cable that's going to go to the XLR to Ethernet converter, put that in the ceiling and run that in a location. Might try and put it up under the pew or something like that. We also need to run another cable. I think it's long enough. I might actually just go in, no, because I got to drill a hole in there. We need to run a cable into pastor's office so that he can get a display on his TV. We also need to run another Ethernet cable into the fellowship hall so that we can put the access point there. And that's what we need to do. So let me go to the restroom real quick, and then we're going to start with trying to do the simple stuff, and then I'll break out the ladder, start doing this, and then also that obviously means we have to hang the camera. I don't have a ceiling mount. I have the regular mounts like I have up here. So we need to position where that's going to be first to make it easier for the cabling as well as for the viewing, because there is a baptismal pool in up here. So I thought we were deciding on the left side, but I can't remember what it was decided on to get the best angle for when people are going in the baptismal, and we don't want to be looking at the top of their head. We want to be able to get a good shot. So we'll figure that out, but let me go here and we start focusing on that stuff. Alrighty, so with these boards, we could also run the audio over USB. So the computer was connected via these cables, and just because of all the electronics and all this other stuff, that's why most of the time when I use a board, I will connect it over USB, and it just gives a cleaner audio every time. Most of the time I've used this. So we are going to do that, and hopefully that will solve this. And this was an extra cable that I did have left over. So my apologies on that. So we'll connect that here, and I did download the drivers on the computer before I disconnected the internet. But like I said, worst case scenario, I will run the cable and just connect the Starlink and put it back on the ground until I run the cable. And I need to get a good placement on where the hole needs to be. So I might do a pilot hole, because we're going to go through some wood here, and then we're going to hit brick outside. So we just need to be careful on that. And while I'm doing that, I left my extension cord here, and that's going to be for my drill, but I got another one for them that will be permanently here for that rack. And might see. So when he comes back to do the electrical, do you think it's possible that he could also put an outlet kind of close to where that rack is. I got an extension cable that will plug it in. I mean, I'll probably say, he could put it right beside that. I mean, because we got a, what's that, about like a 4-foot cable. So anywhere in that vicinity, under the rack.
Under the rack?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right. So I'll leave it with this extension, but for right now, so that everything will be powered on. But that'll probably be easy, especially since all that's new and they're going to put another outlet under the TV.
Okay, no problem.
All right. All right, thank you. So again, this is for the time being. And I was sitting back thinking, I still got another one of those steel struts for the TVs that we did in Oxford. I could probably put that up under there, and that would be shorter, but it all depends. I might bring that back to secure that and just give it a little bit more of an anchor for this equipment. I need to put this piano bench back as well too. And maybe I can reach that plug, because this is not being used. So we'll plug that into there. And everything is turning on. So that's good. We put the door back up there. So let's make sure we got sound and everything. Also need to make the cables for all of this stuff. I am going to run a cable directly for the computer so that all of this does need to be turned on so that the computer will still have internet. I do have a piece of conduit, so we'll be able to run the cables. They are probably going to run it straight down against the wall over here, come down here so that it doesn't block the sensor, and then run it across probably up under that beam so it can go down right behind the computer. But let's make that cable real quick, and then we go from there. Alrighty, so I repurposed that cable like I told you, so that is using that. So we got the front. This one I need to unscrew from it being bolted down that way, so that way I can use, well, we're going to need a much shorter cable, but that's going to be the one for the back TV. This Ethernet cable, that's what's going to be used for the camera in the front. We're going to pull that back over and drape it down to go into there. And then I need to run another cable from here back up in this direction. So, and then run another HDMI cable there for that for that camera. So that's what we got. I've also hooked up the amp in the front with the connectors I had to see if this amp is the problem. If not, if it is, then we switch that out. And we got a whole lot of extra cable that I got to put back up in the ceiling. I didn't realize I had that much in there when I ran that originally. But let's see if we can get some sound through the front amp. We got the front camera there, it's on the table. I haven't mounted that. We got the audio ran, so the house is run. The monitors are hooked up. I ended up using the converter and put it on channel number 4 and just swap the connections, gender swapped them so that we can use that. Got to turn that down because there's a little buzz, but that is not anything major. That's actually just because of the connection. Might get a male to male or a female to female cable, so I don't need to use that. I might order that. We got most of the cables ran. All this HDMI one is the one that's running to the front. I need to walk the ladder down and put the cable up in the ceiling for that. Because I'm trying to think. Because that's going all the way up to the one that's in the corner. Right there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then the other cable that I have on the floor right here, might repurpose that, and when I do that, run the cable directly for the camera that I have just hooked up to the one that was originally on the wall right there. Pretty much what we're going to decide is once all this is cleaned up, all of this is going to run. They're working on probably putting the trap door up under here, so all these cables will be ran smoothly from here. But the idea is the Ethercon cable is going to run this way, going to be tacked down instead of where the HDMI is. The speaker wire will go there as well too, and the coax that's going feeding the TV in the fellowship hall, that's going to go there as well. This other one right now, the HDMI cable that's on the floor, that's the one that is, gotta remember which one that's going to. That's the one that's going to the camera, because this is the end of the one that's already here. See, this is the source. So technically, I really don't have to do that. Let me take that back. We have to pull the cable back out of the wall that's going to the TV. That's the reason I didn't touch that. I'm gonna leave this cable here because this can be used, repurposed, because the idea is if we run the cable from here in this conduit to where the camera is, we can just hook a coupler up to this and that will be fine. And then that cable is already ran. We just have to get from under where the cable is going up under the platform to pull that and run it back up under to the ATEM. What we're gonna do is, I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go outside. I'm gonna move my ladder, pop the tiles while I'm walking it back in place, drill a hole, get outside, and then mount the Starlink up there. That's what we're gonna focus on doing and get that out of the way. So let me move this and we go from there. We've been super busy, mainly outside. We got the Starlink and all that other hooked up, but more importantly, we have the front camera set up as well too in its position here. I'm tired and I have 3 minutes before my alarm goes off to leave, but we're gonna be back tomorrow, move this cable in the ceiling, put all the other cables in the ceiling, clean up everything that we have here, tack down the stuff on that side, clean up the booth, mark all the mics, hang the access point over here, run a cable for the other one back there, run another cable for pastor's office, and I may be able to tap into, I thought I ran a SDI cable down the hallway and then want to tap off of that and put a splitter in his office, and then that way I wouldn't necessarily have to run a new cable because we already ran it. But we're doing real good. I am tired. Sorry for the short video, but again, it's just been running around in the cold is really messing up stuff. Let me let him see how everything is, And then we're hitting on the road. I have a Zoom consultation at 5, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9. So I'll lump these two together. Well, no, I'm not. I'll finish this one up depending on the length, and then we'll just see y'all tomorrow. Now, I know I was getting ready to leave, but see, we got the access point there. We're gonna run, access point, Starlink there, but because of the angle, what we're gonna do, hopefully when it gets warmer, because the internet is working now, we're gonna tack it down, but the idea is gonna pull that off, and I had to do the same thing with my mom's and get on the roof and screw it into that, because it's not flat enough, because the drain spout is in the way from that. So I'll have to can take that whole thing, or I might just get another mount and screw it into the roof and then put it there. So that's what we're thinking about doing. Well, not thinking, that's what we're gonna have to do. But let's go home. Hey, good morning, folks. Day 3, we're back. I actually was able to next day some stuff. So the roof mount actually came in this morning, and then my gender swappers actually came in as well too for the cabling here. So we're gonna focus on, like I said, finish redoing that cable here. I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna warm up a little bit before I go outside, but we're gonna put the mount on the roof. So I'm gonna have to extend the ladder all the way up so we can get on there. I might do it on the corner so it'll get easier to get to, so I can get past the rain spout, put that on there, probably widen the hole a little bit and put the original cable with the Starlink, run that through. I need to make the hole on the outside a little bit bigger to get the head of the cable through there. But do that, then reposition this cable up in the ceiling, get the cables up for the camera, run that through. So we got a lot of stuff. I want to get as much done today as possible. I know I have to go down to Zion Chester at 6:30, so I want to try and get as much knocked out as possible, because I'm not really going to have any other time to get anything else. So we got to clean up as much as possible so everything is in the best condition as possible. So let's get to work. Oh, that was tiring. Need to move the ladder up so I can just pop the cable on the upper side of the tile, but that's ran. Got those on the wall. Got the front camera up. It is powered. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with this cable. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. I don't think that's needed. I hope I don't need it, but that's what we got, because the camera in the front is driven by this one. So I think we are good. I just need to reposition the last couple of tiles. I was going to put the Ethercon cable in the ceiling, but I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That's the one I'm going to tack across the floor. That'll make that easy, because it's going to go right in the corner and sit up under the bench where the D can sit. So let me do that, and then once we climb back on the other side, I'll cut a piece of conduit so that I will hide the cables on that side, which will match, get the tiles up, and then the camera's in the front. And then we got to figure out running. I'm going to hang the access point to the side. I need to open up. Man, that air is cold. I need to open up the hole on the other side, go back outside, put the new mount on the ceiling, on the roof, and then reposition it, run the other cable that came with the Starlink. That's why I need to widen the hole on the outside a little bit so I can get that cable through, and then we go from there. Hey folks, haven't been recording a lot because we've been working, but let me show you. you can see the ladder. Ended up moving the Starlink, put it right there just because it was just too difficult to try and put it anywhere higher. So we got all this extra cable. Ultimately, when we come back, this is going to be put inside of the soffit right there. I'm gonna wrap all this extra and just keep it up around the Starlink dish for right now. What else we got going on? I'm cleaning up a lot of the stuff inside. I'm getting my tools that I left out here. I have, let me actually, well, I was gonna say let me get all this stuff done and then go back inside, but like I said, I'm right here. Let me show you what else we got going on. So the internet is back up. I need to go back into the app and most likely do some alignment. So we actually should be able to get it exactly aligned the way it needs to be. I got the access point up, got the plate up. That's what I was outside to do, because I need to tack these wires to the wall. Just want to make sure it's all nice and pretty. We got the Starlink put in here in its shelf. Gonna put up the door here. Need to run another cable, put all the blanks in there. Need to put another cable and run that. That's going to be for the access point that goes into the fellowship hall. Then I also got to look at the pastor's TV. And then this cable, I believe I actually will run a new cable so that I don't have to worry about getting in the ceiling and doing all this other stuff. Because what I'm asking them to do, and I believe he's going to be here today or tomorrow, they're going to put a trap door in the middle of here. So the idea is we'll come back and all the cables that are being ran right there, we'll be able to actually get into the floor up under here and run them up easier, as well as this. I ran a new cable for here, but they want to use this as a confidence monitor. So I ran a new HDMI cable, but the original one is the one that's tacked here. So I can't get up under here. So the idea is get able to open up here, pull all that extra back. We don't need a new cable. Pull all that back, leave it bound up, velcroed up under here, and we can run it into the computer. So that would be good, and that gives more access to put all the cables and put all the extra up under the floor and everything like that. That's what we got. So now that I've disconnected this, I need to run another cable that's going to be for the TVs, because the TVs actually have a splitter behind them. I didn't do that, but that saves. So that's how I have an extra cable left over, and this cable is backwards. Again, these fiber optic cables are one direction. So when everything was set here, that was going to the TV, so this was the source. So I can't really use this. I need this end to be a display, and that's what will connect the cable that I have here. So that cable that I have here that's in the ceiling, that's the one that's we're going to replace. So that one up in the ceiling is going to be pointless. I want to make sure before I cut the cable that that's not the same one. So let's go ahead and turn everything on. We should not get an image because that cable is not plugged in, which is correct. So we are safe. Well, hold on. Let me make sure everything is on. Well, everything is on. The cameras are on. So the ATEM and everything should be on. Let's make sure, because last thing I want to do is cut a cable that I don't need to. Yeah, so everything is on. So let's see. If we turn this TV on, we should get something back here. Yeah, so everything is on. So that is the cable. So if I run a new cable, that will be the one that we replace here, and that's what will feed that. So that's what I'm going to do, then focus the attention on figuring out what was changed on the other side for the fellowship hall, as well as run a cable for the access point that we're going to do in the ceiling. do pasture stuff, then really a lot of cleanup, and then this thing is done. Alrighty, so like I said, the main thing now is the access point, and they asked me to also hook up a TV for the trustees. I don't have enough stuff for that, so we may have dodged a bullet, because what I'd like to do for that is do SDI cables there, because that way I don't need to run new cables. There's already a SDI cable in the ceiling that's running back this way. I can just do a split, and then that could run to all the other connections. What I'm going to do now is move the ladder back over here. We're going to put the access point in the center of the room here in the fellowship hall. And then we got to run a cable. Now, worst case scenario is I could put a PoE injector on this and use a power line adapter, and then I don't have to worry about running stuff all the way over here, but we shall see whichever is the easiest to do. Cable for the access point in the fellowship hall, but then I saw a blue cable behind the TV, and chasing it, we get down here. So I put a tester on the other end. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this is the other end. Ooh, of the tester, that line. Which it is, and they got the cables backwards. But I need to verify that that's right. Let's see. Come on, get in focus. Yeah, it looks okay. All right, folks. Got the access point there. Not sure why it's blinking. I don't know if it's doing an update, but we're doing a lot of stuff in here. I'm gonna have to come back here because it looks like the RG6 cable that I ran was damaged. They talked about that, and just don't have the supplies and wasn't prepared to know that that was actually a problem. So they told me about that when I was heading over here. So Not exactly sure. I mean, I'm on the Wi-Fi. Maybe it's doing an update. It says I have a strong signal, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it's almost 3 o'clock, and I have to stop at 4. So the main focus now is to label all the mics, clean up everything, tack down the cables in the front, and then we're a wrap for the sound, the new cameras, and the media booth being moved. I'm gonna have to come back because, like I said, they're opening up the floor for a trap door so that we can actually run and store all those extra cables up under the media booth. And then probably gonna do some other stuff as well too. Extend the TV and for the trustees and stuff like that. So my hands are full. Let me grab my stuff so I can put it in my bag because I'm gonna need that for this weekend at St. Stephen's, and then focus on cleaning up, and then I'll give you a quick tour of everything we did. Alrighty folks, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow just because we ran out of time, but we're gonna have to do some conduit, and I gotta come back because of fixing the cable for the run for the TV. But we got everything prepped up in here. Got the 2 cameras, got the ATEM. I relabeled everything and changed the super source so everything can show up fine. We got the sound set up. We still got to set up their wireless mics with the plug, so we'll get back for that. Still got to put the strut up under here just as a bracing, just as a added security for that. So let me finish packing up, and then I'm gonna leave my ladder here because I don't believe I need that tomorrow at I don't need that at Bethlehem because I can use my smaller ladder for that because thankfully the TVs are not that high. We'll do that. I don't need to climb in the ceiling, so we should be good to go, and we will finish this up after the Q&A on Friday. So we'll see y'all Friday. Hey folks, we are back here at Mount Tabor, so we're gonna finish up a little bit of stuff. Run the speaker cable here, tighten this up here as best as we possibly can to get it up and out of the way of everybody. And we're gonna come back once they open this up and put the trap door. But the main thing is one of the cables came loose for the speaker cable, so I got another cable so we can have them independent for left and right. We do that. Maybe since it's a lot warmer, maybe go outside, push the cable up for the Starlink, wrap it around the dish to get all the extra, and then go from there. So let's get to work. And they messing with me. See, these folks here, they watch my videos, and then they're like, "You're the one that said you're gonna take a nap, and then you didn't." That's what both of them got me when I came in here. All right, folks. So we got ahead and went ahead and tacked down and secured the cable, so there's no tripping hazard or nothing like that. We got the speakers set up. We got the floor set up. We got all the other stuff set up. I think one last thing is to secure the cables in the back that are going to be on the back wall. We're going to do that, just tack those down temporarily, and then we're going to do a training, make sure everything is fine, walk through how to live stream, clean my stuff up, and then I think we're going to be done, and then I'll give a tour of what we got. We are going to have to come back because we're doing the change, running the extensions, fixing the extensions, going to the fellowship hall, adding a connection for a pastor's office as well as the trustee office. So we are going to come back for that. And then I forgot, I got to go take the ladder back outside, secure the extra Starlink cable up there. We'll come back and then put that up, and it all depends on how the weather is right now. It's kind of warm. I'm hot from running around. Might try and secure the cables, but since I have to come back, I'll probably do that. I'm just going to secure the extra cable on the antenna, and then do the other stuff. So let's go do this right now. Alrighty folks, we are done here. Let me take you on a quick tour of what we've done. We do have to come back for some other additions, but the main stuff is done. So as you can see, all of this has been removed. We're going to come back, and this is just temporary for right now for service, so there's not a tripping hazard and none of the cables. We got all of this redone. We got our speakers set up. We got the monitors on the floor. They brought the musicians and the piano and everything down here. We have this set up on a dedicated XLR over Ethernet extender. We also have another instrument box for the bass so that all the instruments or everything are inside the house. And let's go ahead. We also added a front mounted camera. Have a whole lot of space here in the sanctuary that's been cleared up. All the cables are gone, up and out of the way more floor room to do everything. We are going to have to come back and put another extension for the hanging mics. So all of those are here. We're probably going to come down and put another extension, come back up under here, up under the floor, and run another shielded Cat 5e cable to bridge that gap, everything. So now let's go ahead and look at the booth on what we got back here. All right, so back here we got all the booth. We're going to be cleaning up the cables, and once they do the drop floor, that's when we're going to bring all the cables up under here. But we've repositioned everything. They have the security cameras, they're monitoring that. We got our workstation, we got a dedicated area for the joystick, the ATEM, all that stuff. All the sound has been relocated back here. We've added some new mics and way more workspace up and out of the way from everybody in the front. Once everything is done, that's when we're going to come back and put a conduit to run all of this into the floor right here, where we can pull the trap door and pull all the cables. So there's no point in securing that when we're going to undo all of that again. That's what we got. And if we come back here, we're going to put another conduit here for this cable because we have to wait for that. We're going to run some new extensions back here. And I'm not going to go in there because I think the alarm is still on. But we added an access point inside of here. We're going to run a new extension because something happened with the SDI cable that's feeding the television back there. So what we're going to do is in this hallway, because I ran the cables this way and they came back this way, and they're all the way in the hallway back here. But what we're going to do is run a connection into the trustee's room and also in the pastor's office. Now that cable is right here. So what we're probably going to do is run that cable, split it off, and put the SDI splitter inside the trustee room, put it against the wall. Then that would run a feed into their television, then run another cable into here, and then join back this cable here as long as it's not damaged. And that would feed back into the fellowship hall. We also added an access point for Wi-Fi in here, added Unify stuff. Also did the Starlink on the roof. So internet is substantially better than how it was. I actually did a live stream using everything and it worked really well and maintained everything the entire time. Didn't dip, didn't drop or anything like that. We do have the Wi-Fi segmented so that they have Wi-Fi for anybody to get on, but it will not impede on the administration. So again, thank you, Mount Tabor. We're going to be back for fixing that other stuff. But the main project of what they hired me for has been done. They're not going to start live streaming and doing anything like that until March. Also showed them how to use free conference call because they had like an office phone kind of office conference phone on the pulpit, and it was getting echo. And I was showing them that now the computer and everything, you can pull the audio from the board, and that gives a much better reception and everything for the congregation that just calls in. So really, besides just moving the media booth, we really just updated everything of what the capacity of what the media can do. And they're going to be coming out to the conference as well to meet a bunch of y'all who are coming out and to learn from all the other stuff that we can do, because just moving this is so much more that you can do with your media ministry, and just really excited to be a part of and helping them out. So link is going to be down below to all this. If you ever need any help, know that you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations. We can set up a consultation in person, over the phone, Zoom, or we do travel to help modernize your media ministry. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, that way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Now, granted, this was install number 3, so we're finishing 3 before 2 and 1, but Oh well, he got it done. So anyway, folks, we'll see you in the next video. Later.